Hi everyone, Lisa from Canine Clips here with my dog Deacon, and I just wanted to talk to you today a little bit about all the different things that I use in my practice of dog grooming for trimming the nails. So I do have a few different things that I use, and I go through them really quickly on the video, and sometimes I don't even describe what I'm doing because I do switch them out from video to video. Just depending on the dog. So I just wanted to give you a little bit more deeper explanation to what I use and where you can find it so that you can have these tools at home as well. So you do see quite a bit of these big ones here. So these ones are really good for really thick dog nails. I'm just going to trim the tip out of them. So just, they make a little more clicky noise, but they do go through really solid. But they do make that noise as well. And then I have these ones. So these ones I've gotten from a pet store, just any pet store. You really want the ones that have the curved things. You don't want the ones that have the blade that goes straight up and down, because they usually will catch the dog's nail and actually they're not sharp enough. So if the dog's nail is a little bit thicker, it'll actually rip the nail or kind of crack it, so it won't really cut it properly. So you do need the ones that are like this, that have the oval shape to them there. And then I have these ones as well. So and these ones I've actually just bought at a dollar store, so they're a big $1.25. So you can purchase those. They are just as good. You can never sharpen these. So this is my third pair of these over the years, but again, I do use them quite a bit. So you can see these ones, they don't make as much of a clicky noise, but they still are very sharp. One thing I've noticed with these guys here is, let's see, well anyways, it's because they're the dollar store ones. This little thing is kind of fallen out, so in some videos you'll see me having to manually open it because the spring has come out. So, sometimes when you pay a little less, they are a little less quality, but the blade is still really sharp. So I just have to tighten that spring back on there to make it work. And eventually they'll wear out, but they do last a very long time. So if you just need a quick pair of scissors that are cheap but are very effective, this is my go-to if I need to go pick some up. And I have found, this is at another kind of dollar store, they were $6. These usually can run you like $30, but I have seen them for $15, so when I do, I buy them. And then I found a whole bunch of these ones, which are actually going to be about the same quality as this for blades size. And they were only $6, so I bought a couple of them. So I always just keep a couple on hand because I don't know what I'll need or when I'll need it. And it's nice just to pop in a bag, because when people hear I'm a dog groomer, they're pretty excited for me to trim their dog's nails at least, or pluck their ears. Those are the two main things I tend to get done. And so for you guys that have dogs that have dew claws or any nails that curl on you. So I've used these a few times in some of my shorts, and of course you'll see them. So they actually do have a straight blade. Kind of hard, they do look curved on the video there. So they are nice and straight and strong. So when I do trim a nail, it actually it gives me that nice straight cut, because I need the strength, because I don't want to twist the nail at all. So that's why I have the heavy duty ones here. So they go right straight through. So I guess you can see it straight there. So I use these ones on those dew claws or anything that's kind of curved, that I don't want to kind of pull the nail out. So some dogs, their nails, sorry Deacon, you're getting comfy there. Oh good, you stay there. So it'll kind of curve all the way around and kind of almost touch the pad. So if you were to use these ones, you'd kind of have to get under it, and then it would kind of twist the nail, which of course this is already sore. So I don't want to use anything to kind of pull the nail out more. So I basically, from the other nails that I've already cut, you can kind of determine where the quick is, or the part that bleeds. So then from there, I use a straight across cut. So wherever I think it is, I'll go there. And usually they will bleed just because they're not getting worn down at all when the dog walks. So it's okay if the dog's nails bleed, especially when they're not getting done regularly. And that's quite common. So you'll see that in my videos where the nails will bleed. Usually the dog doesn't even react, but if their feet are already sore and sensitive, they will give a little yelp or show their discomfort in their foot or pull it away. But that's usually because the feet are already sore because the nails are already overgrown. All right, so I do show on my video, so when the nail does bleed, I talk about styptic powder or quick stop. I also use blood stop. And then I have a different type of blood stop that I've used. So out of these, I have my favorite. So the favorite one is the quick stop. It seems to work the best. So this one is a yellow powder. It is really, really fine. And it really stops that bleeding quickly. So as you see in my videos, I put a little bit on the cap, and then I just dip the nail from the dog in there and I hold it in. So I make sure I get the flat surface. So whatever part was bleeding, I push it in there kind of a few times and hold it, and then I'll even use my finger. Oh, see, he might even have one there. I'll just do it on him. Whoops. Just to make sure it doesn't bleed. And it's easy as that. That's all you have to do. So what I tell my clients, if one of their nails was bleeding, I let them know that, I did cut one of the nails, and that they should keep the dog off cement so that it doesn't wear off, and just some carpet so they're not kind of tearing, just for, about even 10 minutes. Is just kind of, so they're not pulling. If they're walking on carpet, that's different. But if they're anxious and all over the place and pulling, they don't want to wear that little bit of styptic powder off. So I tell them just to take it easy for, first few minutes, and sometimes I'll even send some home with them so that if it does come back again, like with Deacon's here, barely even, well, I don't even know if it was gonna bleed, but it was red at the end, so I put some on. But if there are some that do bleed profusely, I'll put the styptic powder on, and that's before the bath. I'll bath them. It still hasn't bled, but I'll still tell the owner because it's still sensitive, and especially if it has snowed outside or the weather's really cold or wet, it'll really, it really has a higher probability that styptic powder will come off, and just that they'll wear that off. So just better to keep them indoors for just a little bit. All right, so my second favorite is the Blood Stop. So this brand by DVL, so I'm not sure of the different ones, but this one has a kind of like a white powder, and it's, again, very fine. It works pretty good, and I try to use this one. I try to use this one. I know they're the same bottles. I try to use this one more often because it's way cheaper than the other one. So this whole bottle was $9.95, and this bottle was $9.95. So you can tell the price difference. So I do try to use this white powdered one quite a bit more, obviously if I can, because it is way cheaper. So I'll come grab this one kind of first, especially on the videos. I'll use this one first. And then if it doesn't work, if I say, oh, it's still bleeding, then I'll kind of grab this one with the yellow powder to kind of really make sure it stops. So that's what my little trick I do on the videos that I just don't really talk about. And then the third one, my third favorite, is this one. It's still called Blood Stop as well, but it's made by a different company again. And so this one, I've used it. It's okay, but it's a little bit grainier. So sometimes it doesn't really get into that where I need it to go. and it doesn't stop the bleeding right away. So I do use this one when I'm not filming. So, because I of course want to use this one as well. It again is cheaper because you get a nice big bottle. But I think it might be made for a little bit of bigger animals, like when they cut the horns off a cow or something like that. So they're not really made just for little puppies. So I had bought that off Amazon, and so I tried it. It works sometimes, but not all the time. So again, and so how I know the difference of these guys is that I also have labeled them. Oops. So that I can easily see the different. So that's my first, second, and third choice. And there we go. So that kind of gives you the behind the scenes look of my what I choose to trim nails, and I hope that helps. And please feel free to ask any questions. I'll be happy to answer anything you have, or I can do any other videos on something for you if that's what you would like. But yeah, so basically, if you do find a blood stop powder, you just want to make sure it's really a fine powder, and the color doesn't matter as much as the fine powder. And then yeah, like I said, this one is my #1 favorite. So the quick stop stick powder. I believe you can just still buy this just in any pet store, but I know sometimes it's harder to find, so you may have to search and find. But I do believe it's still on Amazon as well. So it's not cheap, but it does last you a long time. So if you're just grooming your dog, this bottle will last you probably a couple years. So it's not, not going to be a bad investment for you to know that you have the best one as well. So thanks for watching. And I'll have more videos on just behind the scenes of the tools that I use, and so that you can see all the brands I use and everything like that I've used over the years. And sometimes I'll show you some things that I'm not going to, again, show on the regular videos of products I've tried that just really are no good and you should not buy them. So thanks for watching. Have a good day. We'll see you again soon.